G'day. Thought I'd just do a quick video on seed raising mix and the difference between commercial and homegrown stuff. Just look at these tomatoes here. Now, I grew these from seed in punnets, exactly like these ones here. So when they're in the punnets, like these ones, they're in the stuff that I made myself with 1/3 of worm castings, 1/3 of coconut fibre, and 1/3 of just old soil. That's what that stuff is. And they just jumped out of the ground, they're growing great and whatnot. So when these ones got to the stage where they needed to be potted up, now these are two different varieties of tomato. They were potted up 1 week apart. See if you can guess which ones are in the commercial stuff and which ones are in the homegrown. Like, you can tell that the difference between these two. One half of them, one lot is in the homegrown, the homemade stuff. One half is in the commercial. The commercial stuff is labelled as premium potting mix. I'm just going to tell you, it's these ones here. And these ones were potted up a week before these ones. These ones are in the homemade stuff. So these ones have barely changed since they were potted up. If anything, they look like they've been poisoned. Just look at them. They did look like they were as healthy. They were actually bigger than these ones at one stage. They looked as healthy. And once I put them in this commercial stuff, the leaves go white or yellow. All the leaves start pointing straight up and curling up and shriveling up. I mean, look at this one. That hasn't put on any size at all since I potted it up weeks ago, more than 2 weeks ago. These ones were potted up a week after those in the homemade stuff. They didn't even notice they got repotted. There was no transplant shock. They just kept growing like nothing had happened, and look at them now. So I've experienced this before, last year, when I didn't have any homemade soil and I couldn't work out what was going on. Like, was I not feeding them enough? Was I watering them too much? I just couldn't work it out. Anyway, last year, this exact same thing happened, and they were like this for more than a month. They didn't grow at all. They just looked like this for more than a month. See the undersides of the leaves going purple? The stems going purple? So I'm a bit torn about what to do. Should I just throw these out and start again? Because these are obviously much happier. And another example I can give you, I'll take you over there now. So I can't really show you because I've just tipped them out, but this little trough here was going to be my little mini herb garden. I had 4 kinds of herbs straight from seed, straight into the tub, and the whole tub was that same commercial premium potting mix. I'll show you it here. I just tipped it into the compost heap. That's it there. It's black, it looks fine, but the herbs, they germinated, they got their first primary leaves. One of the herbs, the dill, just started its secondary leaves. They just got out of the center of the plant, and then everything stopped. The basil, it got its primary leaves. A week later, those leaves went yellow. Some of them died. The oregano, same thing, primary leaves, nothing else. The primary leaves went yellow. The dill, like I said, it got its secondary leaves. They got about this big, and then the plant went yellowy, bronzy color and stopped growing. And the chives got out of the ground and then stopped, and the tips of the leaves of those shriveled up and died. So I've redone it now, the same seeds, with homemade seed raising mix with the worm castings, and we'll see the difference. And I don't mean to name names, or do I mean to name names, but this was the brand. This wasn't the actual stuff, because this is native, but it was this brand. The bag was orange and it was labelled premium potting mix. and everything I've grown in it looks like it's been poisoned. It's that bad. I can't get my head around it. Like, what do they put in the commercial stuff? Is it just tinted black with like ink or something to make it look nice? You know, it's got the little pellets in it of slow release stuff, but nothing grows in it that I've seen. And it just goes to show that the homemade is the way to go. Get yourself a worm farm, get yourself some worm castings. It's just the castings seem to be the magic bullet, because the other 2/3 is just regular soil out of the ground and coconut fibre. But everything I've planted in it jumps out of the ground, and if I transplant into it, there's no transplant shock, they just keep growing. Anyway, I've rabbited on enough. I'll do a follow-up maybe on this little herb garden and see how they grow in comparison to what it was before. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you learned something, and I'll see you later.